All right, everyone, welcome to Murphy's Law Garage. So today we're going to be checking out VMP's carbon fiber strut tower brace. Now, let me explain to you why we're doing this. A bit of an interesting situation. Normally, I wouldn't want to add weight to the GT. So, especially not on the nose because it affects hook. But let's be fair here. If this thing weighs 2 pounds, I'd be really surprised. What do you think this weighs, Seth?
2.5 pounds.
Yeah, about 2.5 pounds. Okay.
He didn't seem so surprised.
No, because that's about what it feels like. There's some discussion that from some forum member that said some bad things about this, and I'd like to test whether or not they're correct. So let's go ahead and get at it and take a closer look at this. All right, so here is the strut tower brace. This is made by VMP in Florida. This is an American-made product. Someone went in on the forums that I'm a moderator of and said, VMP strut tower brace sucks. It doesn't fit well. The quality of it isn't great. So I reached out to Justin. I'm like, hey man, it's talking some mad crap about this strut tower brace. And who's the best person to actually form an opinion on it? Me.
Not that guy.
No, not me. But realistically, yeah, it's Seth. Yeah, Seth is the perfect person to form his opinion on it. Seth might even be more direct with you than I am. So the first thing I'm going to look at is the top finish of it, which it's carbon fiber. It looks like carbon fiber. Jake is trying to come in and I'm flipping it. And it looks like a gel-coated carbon fiber part. This is fine.
It looks great.
So, I mean, it looks like any other carbon fiber part. The only thing I can see maybe is that this guy, whenever he looked at it, was like, the quality looks horrible. And I get how if you look at the back of it, that you might go, oh my God, what's wrong here? Well, let's be clear here. When this is sitting on the engine and the 3-liter supercharger, because this is what this is made for, is sitting right here, you ain't seeing any of this underneath it, like at all. So if the argument was that this needed to be sanded and polished and pretty, I don't know that the average consumer, myself included, would be willing to pay for someone to spend the man hours to polish this out and make it look pretty, just for the sake of 0 people ever being able to see it, except for you when you install it, or if you ever have to take it off, the shop that's taking it off. So I don't know. You tell me, Internet, would you prefer the added cost of having the underside polished or not care at all? That's the only thing that I can think is that they might have been upset about, is that this is unfinished. It's not like it's adding much weight. The damn thing weighs nothing, right? So I don't get what the argument could possibly be here. It literally, look, this is how light it is. It literally weighs nothing, right? How heavy would this have to be for me not to be able to do this? So yeah. We have our Stita bars down here, which are made of steel, which are much heavier. But that's for taking turns. It's a very different thing. This is not for the purpose of stiffening the nose of the car. This is so you regain the look of a sway bar in a car like a Performance Pack or a Dark Horse, where you had to take this off to put it on. So all of that being said, to supercharge it, all of that being said, let's just go straight to the GT and get this installed. It's going to be super easy. In fact, the longest part of this is that I'm going to need to remove the underhood insulation. So that'll take longer than actually bolting this on. Now, you do have the option of just trimming the underhood insulation if you want to, but I've been talking about it for a while. I don't like sponsor stickers on the outside of my car. So I think I'm going to start putting them underneath the hood, and I need room to do that. So we're just going to take the underhood insulation off. Hell, the GTD doesn't have underhood insulation. It's probably got a $20,000 handmade carbon fiber hood on it. So if they don't need it, I don't need it. Weight reduction, right?
That's how much my car's worth.
I think this, we'll find out in a second. I think this is probably lighter than the underhood insulation, which means effectively will be net weight loss putting this on. Yes! Race car parts. Let's go do it. Hey everyone, sorry to interrupt that awesome video that you're watching, but I need to take a minute to talk about our channel sponsor, CarLock. I don't know if you know this, but approximately every 3 seconds in the US, a vehicle is stolen. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be part of that statistic. And CarLock is here to help you not become part of that statistic. How? Well, they sell a both OBD2 and hardwired version of a GPS tracking device that is 4G LTE enabled. Oh, but wait, there's more. It sends real-time notifications to your smartphone to say things like, hey, vibration has been detected. The door has been opened. Hey, your device has been disconnected. Someone's trying to steal it. Oh no, your engine has started. And even worse, your vehicle is now in motion and you didn't do it. And having those types of notifications for my project cars give me serious peace of mind. And they will for you too. Now, they also sell extension cables and splitters if you want to hide your OBD2 device under the dash, as well as extra sensors to increase your level of security if you so choose to. And for a short time, you're going to get a discount on your device. Well, down below, I'm going to have a code. First code is going to be for 10% off of CarLock's Amazon store. Second code is going to be for 14 free days of service. Y'all go check that out. Thank you very much, CarLock, for sponsoring this video here today. Y'all pick one up to help support the channel. Let's get back to the video. All right, so if you're anything like me and you bought the J&L oil catch cans, I helped design these. The catch cans both sit on the strut tower here, and the other one goes, and I've already removed them, but it bolts here, and that's in the way of the brace. That's not VMP's fault. Obviously, my car never had a strut tower brace, so I picked the most ample room location I had to put the catch cans when we designed them. So in this case, we're going to need to move them. This one will easily be able to move here to this stud on the valve cover. And that gives, there is enough room here to pull the cup out, and it does clear the hood. And the other one, I'll show you, it'll end up coming off of the strut tower over there. But with those out of the way, the next thing I need to do, because my car doesn't have any strut towers, I removed the two nuts that are right here on these studs so that I have access to them, and then popped this harness off. If you have a strut tower, your own already, and you have a whipple, you might also have a triangular brace that hops in here. That will actually add more height to this. You see mine just has this piece of plastic here in the place of where that brace used to be, because this is a base model. So you can either remove that triangular piece to reduce weight. I think that also gives you a little more clearance in this area and over there as well. Or you can leave it in and put the strut tower brace over the top of it. So next thing I'm gonna do is Seth and I are gonna work on popping in the carbon fiber brace. Jake, you wanna grab the camera?
Today, Jake.
So what I'm gonna have Seth do, and we've already test fit this, you need to come under this harness right here, but there's a lot of strain on this harness. So what you gotta do is kind of fish this guy under like this, and then lift up on the harness a lot. And then slide forward, and that lets you get this side on. And then if we come over to this side, the carbon fiber has a bit of a bow to it. Let me take over, Seth. The carbon fiber has to have a bit of tension put into it. So you're gonna push that way, which will put a little bit of tension on the carbon fiber. And you're gonna go ahead and sink that all the way down and on. Now you can see just how extremely close that is to the engine. The reason why it's sitting so close to the engine over here is because my car doesn't have the brace, the V-brace that goes in right here. So I have to put either nuts or some washers here to space this up. Now, mine is kind of pre-production. Whenever you get yours, VMP is going to ship a spacer that goes right here that helps you lift this side up if you don't have the corner brace. Mine's a bit weird. It's kind of like, why would you add the strut tower brace if you never had one? Just for looks, right? So because I don't have that corner piece, so I'm going to put some washers. I might even have some phenolic spacers in the shop. I'm going to put some spacers here to mimic the V-brace that normally goes right here, and that will lift this side up so it's not physically touching the whipple. Is this part of what that other guy complained about for fitment? I don't know. It might be a misunderstanding as to what pieces need to be where to make this work. Certainly if you're putting it on a base model, like I showed you, when you push this guy down, she's hard touching, right? She's touching it hard. So We don't want that. We need to correct that. So let me grab a spacer situation so that we can generate a little bit more space between the whipple, just like this, between the whipple and the blower. All right, so I've got the supplied nuts here put on this side, as well as the supplied phenolic or rubber washer, whatever that is. It's some sort of plastic or hard durometer rubber. And then on this side, I've got a nut under here, a thin nut to space it off that imitates the amount of clearance the other side has because of that plastic V bracket, the brace. And then of course, same thing, I've got the phenolic washer and the nut here. So all we're gonna do is tighten this guy up. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this underliner off. It's literally just a trim tool and a bunch of button clips here. And that'll get this guy off and out of the way, and it won't rub on the carbon fiber. That's what we don't want it to do. It will exist. It'll coexist in the same place, no problem. The thing is that it'll touch the carbon fiber. So as the car moves, it'll abrade the top of the carbon fiber and destroy it. So we've got to remove it. All right, and like I said, I'm just sneaking in here and pulling these guys out, 8 million of them at a time, to make some clearance for that strut tower brace. Oh, got it. Bring it right back. All right, and there it is. Let me see. It weighs exactly the same amount as the strut tower brace. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
All right, and now the honorary, make sure it doesn't touch crap. Okay, well it definitely doesn't touch. Woo! I kind of don't think it would touch even the hood insulation, to be honest with you. It looks like there's a lot of space in there. Look, I've got it popped like a ½ inch up.
You want me to see if I can zoom in a little bit?
Oh, let me just look in here. I can't see crap.
Down? It'd be real tight.
It'd be real tight.
And it's in line with your washer fluid lines.
Nice. Okay, well, it's in there. So if you were installing a strut tower brace and that's all you were doing, you're done. Remove the hood liner, which we did, the insulation. Like I said, spacers on this side if you don't have the V support. Again, the support looks like this. It's a big metal V that does this. You don't need the spacers if you have that. You need the spacers if you have a base model. I just used some nuts. That is an M10 by 1.5, by the way, if you're curious, if you want to have an extra nut to run down on it. You also have the option of using the factory nut from the other side, if you'd like, to run down on there instead. Up to you. Anyways, I don't see any quality issues here. Again, Jacob, come in. Can you see the underneath of this? Nope. Nope. Yep, and I mean, look, we can walk all the way around over here and get all the way up in on it, and you can't see the underneath of it. So if the fitment quality issue concern was that the underneath of it's unfinished, it's a non-problem. You can't see it. There's a rolled edge here that covers that, so you can't see it. Secondly, the fitment issue I think they were concerned about is, let me get out the sun for Jake, is more than likely the fact that they had a base model car that is supposed to have that bracket here and it was too low in touching the blower. Well, you need to put some spacers. This is what it comes down to. Two things. Call VMP and ask questions if something doesn't work and you're unsure. Thing one. And then thing two, if you're going to do your own work on your own car, you might need to have the ever-presence of mind to think out a problem. Like, you put it on a base model that never had the strut tower brace before, and when you have a strut tower base on a performance pack, there's another hunk of metal here that doesn't exist that you need to account for. I get it. VMP could have explained that to you. I'm explaining it to you right now. If you have a base model, you must spacer the strut the brace off of the strut tower. Okay, it's just that simple. And including the fact that they're going to send you those spacers with the new ones that are going out. So you're good. You're golden. Regardless, I love it. Thank you, VMP, for working with us on this. I'm happy to say that the internet was wrong. Well, at least that one guy, that you don't know what you're doing, because VMP absolutely does know what they're doing. Thank y'all for hooking us up with this, and it'll look great on Noisy at the next car meet. Wait, interruption. Right before I let y'all go, I just wanted to show you that I've relocated the catch cans. Got one right here, right next to the oil fill, worked out, and then the other one is actually down and over here. Jake, if you want to go around the other side so they can see it, it's actually right here next to the brake reservoir. So we got those put in, and the most important bit, Jacob, show them. Boom, VMP Performance, because I didn't yet have a sticker for them, but they're the second sponsor, third sponsor, fourth. They're one of the sponsor stickers that have gone on the car. I don't know how many, but now that this is empty, they're going to go everywhere. So just wanted to show y'all that. Anyways, thank y'all for watching the video. As usual, we love you. God bless. Peace. And if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. It just didn't go wrong in this case. We'll see next time.